So this week, we really learned something important about our daughter,
She is a lot braver than what we realized.
but also a lot more afraid than we knew.
Hey guys, we are Matthew and Ashley Brooks,
And this is Sunday Faith, Weekday Chaos,
where faith meets family.
and where we're learning to face things instead of avoid them. So tonight was call-ins for the Little Miss County Fair Queen pageant, and we signed up our daughter.
Which on paper sounds like a fun, simple thing.
Yeah, like great experience for her, build her confidence, all those things
All the things you tell yourself.
as you're signing yourself up for something or your kid. And at first, she didn't, she seemed excited, but then half the time she wouldn't seem excited, but she wouldn't really say why. And I think probably both of us kind of look at that and go, well, if you don't have a really good reason why you shouldn't do something, we're going to do it because we see the benefits because we know all this, right?
Correct, we already been down this road.
We're her parents. We know what's best. Yep. So, I think the more we got into it, it was just like she was hesitating more than anything. It wasn't that she necessarily wanted to say no. It's just she didn't want to say why she didn't want to, right?
Correct.
And again, it's easy for us just to say she's nervous or she just doesn't feel like doing it.
Once she gets into it, she's fine. She does great.
But then last week, she opened up to me. I don't remember what night of the week it was, but she finally said, Mommy, I'm just scared. And so it was a little more than just hesitation at that point. It was,
She was actually afraid.
and she actually talked about it and she went into it with an open mind. So let's get into it. So I think I talked to you after you got off work and we had a really great conversation, Cecilia and I. I mean, and I think getting a 6-year-old to just open up, it's not easy.
Correct, and she's been opening up a lot more lately. Like when you ask her a question about her feelings, she's putting more thought into it now instead of just a yes and a no. She may take a minute to think, but then she finally says why, which is a new experience and all in on its own from where we have been.
I think something, and this isn't me tooting my own horn, but something for me, I think that's really helped her is for the last few years, as we're sitting with her for bed, I try my best to say, what do you need? What do you want to talk about? And sometimes it's just random stuff at school. It's so and so got in trouble for this usually or that. But a couple of times she's really opened up. And this was almost like one of those times. And so, not in a dramatic way did she come to me and say, I'm scared. Not in a big, obvious way. She has quietly let me know that she was afraid of a few different things. And I guess as a mom, like it hurts when you hear your child say that they're afraid of something, especially it's something you pushed for because you thought it was the right thing. But I wouldn't trade those moments for her opening up for anything because it's like those are the biggest wins. It's not her doing her homework the first time that I ask her to, because those are struggles.
Yes.
It's not her putting up her toys or doing anything I ask her to, but it's those little moments where she's the most vulnerable and she's willing to share that.
And it kind of changes how we saw the whole situation.
It did. I think it gave both of us a whole new perspective. And so I think to me that's a gift that she was willing to share.
And for us, it's kind of understanding what she's walking through or going through.
Exactly. I mean, she's 6. She's still trying to figure things out. And I think one of the best things that we can possibly do in those situations isn't just to reassure her, but I think showing her because I'm terrible about sharing when I'm afraid of things.
I think we all are.
I know. And I think as adults, I think sometimes we need to be a little more vulnerable in the face that our children need to know that it's okay to be vulnerable. And I'm not saying just share every single thing with them that we would share with each other, but I think that would be a start. Has there ever been a time that you've just been afraid of something that you didn't want to share it?
Yes.
And how'd that work out for you?
I was really scared. Um, I just kind of like hide in the corner and just like not literally hide in a corner, but just felt like just hiding in a corner and just shutting the world out.
I don't disagree. I feel like, as far as I'm concerned, and I can't speak for you, but the times that I'm afraid of something, I feel like not sharing it maybe is one of the aspects of control that I have over things. It doesn't make it right that I don't share it, doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing.
I tend to not share when I'm scared because I don't want to put
That burden.
on yourself or add it to you if you have other stuff going on. And
I kind of feel the same. Maybe this is a learning experience for more than just Cecilia. So, I think something that really helped me after that conversation with Cecilia was again to go to the Bible and say, Lord, what where are we going with this? Where do I turn in this parenting journey when my child is afraid? How can I how can we model, I guess, the tools that she needs to be able to express her fear, yet still trust in God? And perhaps gain the courage that she needs to get through things. So I think one thing that we looked at was Psalm 56, verse 3. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. And I feel like that's such a short verse for what it says. There's
mm,
so much there, right?
but so powerful and short.
In a short phrase. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. It sounds so easy, but I think for a lot of us, it takes a lot of vulnerability to
Right.
just say, God, I don't I don't have it here. I need your help. I need your love. I need your strength in this moment.
Putting your ego to the side and
Yes.
asking.
I think that's something we struggle with as humans is ego. And I think you're exactly right. I think that's what it comes down to is God's telling me I can be afraid, but to trust in him because he's got it. I don't ever have it. I feel like 90% of the time I'm a hot mess. So I don't got it. But God says he's got it. And I think that's something that's gotten both of us through multiple scenarios. Even when we didn't put God at the center of our lives, but we still knew he had it.
Yes.
He had
Yes.
us, right? So I think it's that putting the fear aside, or rather, not necessarily putting it aside, but knowing that we have the trust in our God to get us through. He may not get us out of situations, and that's not something he promises, but he promises to get us through it.
Yes, and he's also using it some things as teaching moments to where maybe in the future you can reflect on and be like, I can go to him more, I can be more vulnerable
Yeah.
and not be afraid.
I think the other piece to this is the absolute courage that it took her to finally say, Mommy, I don't want to do it because I'm afraid. Not because of X, Y, and Z. It wasn't just that she didn't want to do it, she didn't think it wouldn't be fun. She's done pageants before. She rocked the one last fall.
She did really great.
She did a princess pageant. It wasn't judged or anything like that, but she walked out on that stage with such confidence. And she's done it. This was her third year. And the first year, it was really rough.
That first year.
She cried and wouldn't get her picture taken. I ended up taking the pictures. Everyone had to leave the room. It was terrible. That was at like when they were taking their contestant photos. That was rough. I'm pretty sure both of us cried during that. The
Even,
second year,
well, before we fast forward to the second year, even practices.
practices,
Like
yeah.
we couldn't show up until we knew it was over because as soon as she spotted me or you, oh, she was done.
Year two was a little better.
Was she wouldn't? She would still be kind of clingy to us, but she knew she could go to practice and um, that we would pick her up, but she knew to wait.
Yeah. Practices were easier. But last year,
Picture was better.
yes, I didn't have to take the pictures year two or three. And so she walked out on stage last fall. She smiled, she walked, she was so proud to her future wear where she dressed up as a teacher and she walked across that stage.
Even the dance moves when they did their little dance
Yep,
together,
their
all
protection
of them.
number was fantastic. And the confidence that she had, I think
And
that was a
that's
proud moment for us.
because that's what we were hoping to build for her from the beginning,
Yes.
from when we first entered in her pageant was because she's always been, well, she was more clingy to us and just quiet.
But clingy wasn't necessarily bad.
Bad, no. But
But we
just,
wanted to make sure she had that confidence so that she can be able to pursue her dreams and do what she wants. And so for her to have the courage to finally say, after all of those things where I thought she was being so brave, this was eating at her, and she said, Mommy, I'm scared. And then we talked through what. I think that was the moment of pride that I had. So we saw Joshua. What verse was it?
Joshua 1:9, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
I just hope that that courage that God commands us. He's not asking us, he's not telling us, he commands us to be courageous. And I think that's one thing that I hope, not only in just this situation, but I'm sure our kids are going to have it a lot tougher than we are being Christians in this world right now. I think it takes a lot of courage to stand up and say the same things that you stand for.
I agree.
And I hope that's one thing I hope that this builds for her is the courage that in the moments that she needs to stand up and speak her truth, that she's able. And I really want her to know that she's not alone. And I think that was something I also looked up. So God also tells us in Isaiah 41, verse 10, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. To me, that's something that has power. God tells us we can be afraid, and He'll be there. He commands us to be courageous, and He says He is with us. And I know at 6, those are really tough things to understand. But I hope at 36 and on, like me, I know, older than you, you're not there yet. But looking at my 6-year-old daughter, I want to be courageous for her.
And I hope she knows she can look back on God and go to God and know that, okay, He's here with me and I can go out and
She can
do.
power on, she can power through this and do the things that she needs to. So, on all of those notes, let's just summarize with what ended up happening. So, we talked about it, and after a couple of minutes, I think I texted you while you were on your way home. She willingly said, I want to do the pageant. And I think that was had me flabbergasted because I really thought she was going to put up more of a fight because she'd been
Back and forth.
the entire time. I thought I was going to have to resort to bribery if we were going to end up having her do it.
One day she'll want to do it, another day, ye It was like the dumbest thing we have ever suggested to her.
Yes. And I oftentimes felt like an idiot because she would just be like, I'm not doing pageant. It's like, I'm like, where'd that come from?
Then another day, just be like, well, yeah, I'm doing it.
So, in the end, she has decided she's going to do it. I signed her up tonight. She was super excited after I picked her up from tumbling and told her that we got signed up.
And she's been excited ever since you guys have had the
That
talk.
talk.
So,
And she is the type of kid that once she sets her mind on something, she does it. Once it's once she is fully committed to something, right?
correct.
She is she's the rule follower, and once she has a plan, she likes the plan.
So much like her mom.
Yeah, well, one of us has to have the plans, right?
Or
But
follow rules.
hey, the rules are there. They're meant to be followed. Sometimes you just have to figure out where the rules are at so that you can potentially get as close to them as you can, but that's a whole nother story. So, anywho, as we move forward in this, we're definitely going to keep you guys in the loop on how this goes because I'm sure with practice, finding outfits and going shopping. Did you ever really think you were going to be a pageant dad?
Honestly, no.
I totally had you pegged for like tomboy, boy dad.
And that's where I figured she would end up. Although, last summer we did some fishing
She loves fishing.
and she would actually touch a worm. So there is hope.
There's hope. There's more hope than for her mom in that aspect,
A pageant and touching worms.
but she loves the glitzy dresses and everything. So,
But honestly, no. I would not picture myself being pageant dad. But at the same time, I love it
I know
so
you
very
do.
much.
You love getting to help with all the things, right? You love getting to help her pick out the dress and I'm not even gonna think about, in 20 years or whatever when
We're not gonna push it. No.
I know that's just right around the corner though.
No, no fast forward. No fast forward.
Well, we hope you guys join us for another episode of Sunday Faith Weekday Chaos. We certainly have enjoyed this talk, and we hope that you guys continue on your walk with God as well.